Hey everyone, welcome along to your Wednesday show. Again, it's another shed night with Kinser in Booker right through to around 8:30ish or give or take. We'll see how we get on with tonight's show, but I hope everyone out there is enjoying themselves. Coming to an end of another month, there I say it. Be wondering where half the bloody year went by. But he joins us. He is the voice of course, the live streaming that you get to watch every Sunday from Bump and Run Booker. Hey Booker, how are you?
Hey mate, how's it going, brother? It was a good night on Sunday night. Actually, we had a good show, good field of cars, some good racing. It was quite excitement packed actually, and I'd just like to say a big thanks to Rawiri family for sending me this awesome Rawiri gear. You got yours on too, kids. Mine's a bit bigger because it's on a fat man, but but yeah, thanks to the Rawiri team. Get yourself some gear off there, mate. That's awesome, isn't it, eh? Pretty cool.
Yeah, they got some great stuff out there, mate. There's beanies, there's bucket hats, they've got t-shirts, they got a fair bit going on. These stickers, and I know you got a couple of those there. What do you got there, mate? Just give it a bit of a coverage. There you go. Beanie there.
Look at that.
Another beanie
there. Keep you warm in the winter, mate, in the off season. Hey, shit. And the cool stickers too. These are for my grandkids. My grandkids got the stickers, so look at that. They love them. Yeah, that was pretty awesome package to turn up in the mail from them. Which was pretty cool. So I thought we'd rep our Rawiri racing tonight, mate. Old Paulie and the family and Pinnacle. So yeah, it was pretty cool of them. But yeah, it's been full of surprises this week with gifts, haven't we? Well, you upgrade yourself again too, Kins. You got one of those Ultra S23 phones, mate. We know someone that watches the show that likes those phones, eh?
Yeah, Tans. Hey, Tanya, how are you? I've got a brand new phone here in front of me, but yeah, only arrived the other day, so feeling like Christmas has come 6 months early for me. I know you already know Booker's got one, so the both of us had them. So what's some of the stuff that we're going to be streaming live when we get into the Speedway season, especially trackside as well with the new toys that we have. Tracy Vincent, good evening. How are you? Mark Goodman, Scott Honeybone, yes, Charlie sitting there, going to be joining us very soon. P-Knuckle watching as well. Kylie, how are you? Paul Mason, Logan Nicholson maybe watching. Had a good laugh with him at the Huntley Speedway track not that long ago. Al Centuani, Riki and the family are watching as well. Ricky's going to join us very soon. Peter Rose, Dan Curran, another shed night, but yeah, it's cold at mine too as well, mate. Kia ora DK, kia ora brothers, Sean Kingy, and the list just goes on. Dan's watching. Oh, of course he's watching the Knowles, mate.
Oh, awesome.
Muddy's watching, yeah.
Tanya's got some angry faces here, mate.
Yeah. Dave Thomas, Deacon as well. So great to see everyone jumping on board and enjoy themselves. And dare I say, as I said, coming to the end of another month. What do we got? July, August, September, October. Think about it, 4 months. We'll be watching trackside once again, mate.
It's coming around quick. You got to feel, Kins, for these drivers and crews with such a short turnaround now in the off season for them, and then you got to also think about all the people that are making the jump, say from the mini stock class to the next class. They got new cars to get ready and whatever they choose, whether it be stock cars, saloons, modified, street stocks, sidecars, solos, whatever the class they choose out there. Their turnaround time too, and learning. They you think about the short distance for those guys and girls to learn about their new class and their new cars, and it's going to be totally different if they're jumping out of a mini stock or whatever. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting season too, mate. I think it's going to be a very good season. I feel very positive about the weather, everything. I think we're going to have this year's going to be the year we should have had last year.
I love your chain of thought, mate. That positivity, I love it. Hey, talking of someone that remained positive at the fronty end of the tail, we had our first of our big major championships for the Capital RC 2023 Superstock E Series featuring the real drivers on Sunday night. He joins us, and it's our New South Island champion winner, Brad Wright, otherwise known to everyone online, driving the 8M is Tank. There he is right there, repping his Busters hoodie. Hey, boys, how are you?
Hey, bro. Good, matey. Yourself?
Can't complain. I can't complain, mate. But overall, congrats on your win and sneaking on through.
Sneaking on through, right? Only 1 point between the top three. It's like one and one. I was like, oh, so yeah, just made it. It was good.
Yeah.
Hey, and then your other M cars took out the other M cars, mate. What's going on there, eh? I thought you bloody Busters boys are supposed to stick together. What's going on there?
I did hear that 56 was meant to have a P on his car this season. The painter forgot to put it on.
He's going to be listening, mate. He's going to give you hell.
Yeah.
Mate.
Okay.
But you've been racing for a long time. You go way back to Steve Emmett, the creator, Dirt Creations, Dirty NZ. You guys go way back. Of titles that you've won over your years, does this sit up there with the rest of them? Have you won anything else? I'm just trying to think, because I've only known you as 8M.
Yeah. So I won one KSR.
Yeah.
And I won the feature league. I've had a 3 NZ. But yeah, this is definitely my first thing second thing in RF2. I got the modified 3 NZ last year.
Yeah,
the
that's
modified.
right.
Yeah. But this is probably this feels like back in the day. Like went through some photos and I was like, shit, I won the individual league and then I won the South Island and North Island champs in one league. It's up there, eh? Like it was cool. It's hard out there, hard.
You got a good crew chief that set up your car properly for you this season, though, eh, mate?
Yeah. ET setup shops. So it's $45 a set, but yeah.
You better not be selling my sets, bro.
I'm not ETS.
But just to put it in perspective, because this E-Series have collaborated with real life drivers, and these guys don't hold back. They're kind of taking each other out as they race along. But like you said, it is competitive out there. There's 30 of us, even some of us regular Kokpit online racers who've been racing the Kokpit since day one. Mate, it's hard yakka.
It's real hard. Like I struggle to see my mates in the field. Like yourself, I can't spot you. Like you're driving, and it's just chaotic. You just all the time. It's nuts. It's fun.
Yeah,
I had a good run with I think it was Keegan Levine the last 2 laps of Sunday night and the third one, and we were hitting each other. And then he did the big dive bomb in the last corner, 3-4, and I saw it coming, so I just put my foot on the clutch so I didn't stall the car, and backwards into the wall I went, and then just into first and off I went. But we're still battling across the finish line. It's crazy.
Okay, we were just talking about it too afterwards. It's kind of the reverse, because I think the opening round of this actual E-Series, you won the feature and Steve Emmett won the opening round. But this time it's been reversed. You've won the actual championship and Steve Emmett, Dirt NZ, has actually won the feature. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the real bay showing its colours there.
You had to do it in front of book, right? So
yeah.
Real bay.
Aye. Hey, listen, you've like Kin said before, you've been around it a long time. I mean, I know the stories like yourself and Dirt going to Teams Champs all those years ago, selling the stock car heat discs, and got everybody involved in that. But So you've seen it firsthand progress from what it was to what he has developed today. I mean, what are your thoughts, mate? I mean, like it's pretty incredible what the man has done, isn't it?
Yeah, like the whole physics side of what he's done now from the original stuff is just unbelievable. Like even the little touches he's done with the cars up the walls and you can hold them there, and it's cool. Like I just want to do it in a real one, but I can't. But it'd be nice. This is the closest I'll ever get to it. So yeah. But
well, hey, look, some of the real drivers when I've interviewed them lately have said that that they think it's pretty bang on to close to the real thing, you know. So that's a pretty good accolade for Dirt and his all the effort and time he puts into it, you know. I see online here, I see on the Kins on the chats, there's a lot of old school names coming up that are all coming here saying that, you know, shit, who let Tank win, you know, and you know, we've got Big H. We've got I think I've got to scroll back up now. Where are we? Oh, we had Sean Kingy there, Ben's there, Jay's Huggies. Steve Emmett actually said you won the first ever North Island in stock car heat.
Ah, there you go. I didn't know that.
You've been knocked around too much, bro. You know, we had the good days.
Too many knocks, eh?
Yeah, we had the good days online in the Busters. Huggies asking, why did Tank take me out in the stock car heat New Zealand champs in 08? It's Huggies asking you.
Oh, wait. How many? I have no idea. I just took anyone out, I think. I have no idea.
Billy Son wants us to hurry up and get the next guest on, Tank.
Oh, that's typical Australian, eh?
The good old days, KSR. Yeah, we all had some fun times, mate, you know, but we're still having fun. So tune in every Sunday. Booker starts doing the build-up at 8:15. And then, of course, we get into the racing at 8:30 as well. Online series, thanks to Capital RC and their sponsorship, Keegan, and obviously having the real drivers. Tank, once again, mate, I'll let you go and enjoy the family. I can see them in the background. We'll wave out. There's your lovely wife at the background there. Congrats, bro. Congrats. Oh, what are you going to say?
Can I quickly say thanks to Dirt and to Aaron Lewis for the prizes for last week? That's awesome. And also the Aussie boys, Darren, Timo, and Pete for helping me with my wheel and pedals, because, man, that's made a difference. They've got this wickedly set up for me for R Factor 2, finally. So, yeah, that's all I want to say.
And that's also the prizes that Aaron organised were all through Woodford Glen Speedway. So if you ever get online with them, they got their online shop too, and they Woodford Glen Speedway shop, which has, you can get tools, you can get everything. So get amongst all that as well, because they're a great supporter of us and they support a lot of people around the country. So yeah, get amongst it.
Sweet.
Awesome, bro.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks.
Tank.
Cheers.
Have a good one. See
you too. There we go. Our South Island champion there, of course, won it on Sunday night. Tony Hudunui, Big H, might come back for a Masters round. Hey, Koro? Yeah, we'll do a bit of a Masters round one day. We'll have to let Len Pluck win that one, mate.
Oh, yeah.
He's the master of all of us. We'll have to let him win that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he can pluck everyone off the end. He can't he? You know, so there's a lot of old names coming up there, Kinser. It's quite amazing, eh? It's quite good. So yeah, don't forget that series is on every Sunday night, live from 8:15. I start the build-up shows. Actually, our guest Charlie was going to be a part of that series, but unfortunately, his world championship run is more important, and we understand that. But yeah, maybe next time we can have him join us. But we'll talk to him soon about it. But let's bring in a very talented young lady and bring in Riki.
Hey, Riki.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thanks for jumping in to join us tonight. Day off from school, is it?
Yeah, it was. Teachers had strike today, so AGM meeting, so there's no school today.
How has these strikes upset your education side of things? You know, has it just been annoying?
Oh, I love it. I love being home.
I knew you would.
Rather than be driving a race car, eh?
Yeah, round oval.
Hey, let's go back to the weekend, which was obviously the awards down at your home track there, and congrats to winning the Youth Mini Stock Driver of the Year.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. It was a good night. I wasn't expecting to get anything actually, because last year when we went, there was only a couple of trophies for the year, so I wasn't expecting to get anything, but they surprised me, and I come home with driver of the year and female future star. So yeah, it was good.
What does that mean, female future star? What does that actually mean? Is it a future in next up and coming classes you may race in?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh,
Is
no,
that what
it's
it
a
is?
new trophy. It's only a new trophy this year,
Okay.
so I was the first person to get it. So I'm not sure, but
Oh.
yeah, it must be something like that, I guess.
Oh, hey, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool that you've been recognised for that. You know, your name, like you said, has been engraved on that trophy. Is the inaugural winner and named to be associated with that trophy. And you know, they can only then mean there's going to be a lot more future names going on there. You know, from female stars, just like yourself, following you. So, what's happening with mini stocks? That's it. Is that a done and dusted for you?
Yeah, that's mini stocks done and dusted for me now. I had a great 2 seasons. Started a little bit later. I probably should have started at 12, but yeah, started a little bit late. But that's me done and dusted now. Moving to the next class into stock cars. So yeah, hopefully it'll be good and I'll enjoy it. I'm sure I will though.
Good on you. Good on you.
Yes.
So, what's happening with the mini stock then? What's going to happen there?
Well, we're going to keep the mini stock. Mum and Dad can afford to keep the mini stock, so we've got a couple of friends, kids that would really like to have a go. So we're just going to keep it, and I might jump in a couple of nights. I'm not sure yet. Do the championship meetings maybe, but we think it's so cool that Mum and Dad can afford to keep it and give those kids a chance that might not be able to afford to own a mini stock, but would really like to go. So yeah, we're just going to keep it and do that for them.
We were talking about that Orfeo Booker earlier before the show. You know, it's paving the way, the future for kids like yourself who want to have a go at it, you know. And it's a great thing what you and your family are doing, mum and dad, giving them the opportunity, because kids, they will sit there, watch yourself and many other mini stock drivers race around. They'll be thinking, wow, how cool would it be one day to do that? So here's an opportunity, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, we talk about it all the time, kids, how the mini stock class is the future. It brings through all the drivers, you know, that's where they start. And these kids are becoming great racers before they even finish their mini stock class. And now your parents doing what they're going to do and let other kids have a go that may are less fortunate, maybe couldn't have a go. I mean, that's just developing the future of our speedway even more. And I take my hat off to that sort of thing. You know, I think it's fantastic, you know. What a great thing to do. And I mean, I could myself as a kid, if someone said to me, "Oh, do you want to have a go, mate?" Hey, I was already hooked on speedway. Imagine if I could have got in a car at bloody 12. Holy shivers, man! It would have been all on. So, stock car class, you're starting that. You're just gonna learn for the season, or you're gonna jump in the deep end? Do you think you'd ever think about teams racing or anything like that in the future, or what's the outlook for you? What is your goals for this season?
Just to learn my car. I think we're going to be back to square one again. Learning the car, learning all the setups, all the different tracks, driving with a whole different bunch of people. All the experience is going to be different. So I think just learning, starting from the bottom to work my way up. But I'd like to teams race in the future. I think it'll be real cool. I have been offered, but yeah, I just want to learn the basics first instead of throwing myself out there and missing the basics at the beginning. So yeah, I just like to just learn this season and maybe just go to Wanganui and Palmy and just stick around the area and maybe travel out next season. But yeah, I just like to learn and go slow.
That's the way, mate. That's the sensible way.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, because you know what you're going to be getting in the stock car class, and you know it's going to be a bit of bumper action. Of course, one of those who's had the management role with the Pumas is Stu Russell, who's watching. No mucking around, Riki? Straight into the rookie team. Signed the deal, air prize giving. That's what he reckons. You've signed the deal, you're in.
You're in.
Do a burnout, Riki. Do a burnout from Rob Miller. You know, and that's what it's going to be like. Bevan Giltrap, if you don't know mini stocks, we're born in Wanganui. Yeah, that's a true fact. If I win lotto tonight, which is in about 9 minutes, a lotto draw, jump in a mini stock, You can spin some spanners. Yeah, mate. We'll have some fun with
God,
it.
that's all you
Mate,
would do, eh? Could just spin the spanners on your finger. You wouldn't know where to put it.
Better go knock me
Ricky know more than you about fixing a car, eh, bro?
Yeah. I just want to drive the bloody thing. Put me on the wheel. Steve-O's watching, Ricky. Jump into Porky Superstock. You ever done that before?
I have, yeah, a couple of times. This power's so much different from a mini stock going to a V8 Superstock, but oh man, it's pretty cool though. The adrenaline definitely gets running when you're sitting in that seat on the starting line. But it's pretty cool. I probably progressed to that after the stock car, but yeah, I definitely wasn't going to jump from the mini stock to the super stock straight away. I'd just like to learn the ways of the stock cars and that first, and don't be too cocky, I suppose.
Yeah.
What car you got, mate?
Well, Dad went down and shot down once we decided that's what I was going to do. Me and Dad shot down to see Peter Reid, and I got a car being built down there. It was actually a trade-in, and I think it's only had a few meetings on it, but it's a pretty new car, and it was a super stock, and it's been converted into a stock car. So yeah, it's just in the middle of doing that. My motor got sent away on Wednesday yesterday. Oh, yeah, yesterday, day before.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be ready by the new season, or even a bit earlier, so I can go out to Harrisville and spin a few laps out there, because it's all going to be new, and get used to it, I suppose. Before
another bloody Rees, eh?
Another one, mate. There's another one out there. I wouldn't be surprised, Booker. You and I will see this young lady at the 240s racing for their championship that they kind of coincide with that event in January.
The ladies' event, yes. Yeah.
You've got the credentials, Ricky. You've got the credentials to do it, to get in there.
You girls that want to get in there and do it. So if I get in, they get in. And if I don't, there's more years to come. And I think it'll be really cool to do, though, I reckon.
Rob Miller watching. He always watches Rob. It's always good to have him. We have to get him on the show one day, actually. Ricky would go way better on a sidecar, he reckons.
I don't know about swinging with that dodgy fella.
Daniel Chalk, how about a super saloon one day?
Saloon? I don't know. They haven't really interested me in super saloons, but
bloody hardy.
Real class. Yeah, it's hard. There's so many classes that once you tried everything, you'd pick, but you can't. It's just what you've started off out, I guess, and yeah.
There
I've
you
got to
go,
go on a cycle before.
Yeah. There's been an offer put out there for you, Kins. Harley Rob said you can do the ladies' crown in his car.
You're on, Harley. I'll do it. You get the car up and I'll bloody do it. I'll do it. It's all about fun and enjoying yourself.
I really like your attitude, Ricky, on your outlook for your future in Speedway. I mean, saying you want to start slow and do it early. A lot of people tend to rush into things too quick and put themselves in the deep end too quick and not build up that knowledge. So I take my hat off to you. You got a very sensible head on your shoulders at such a young age, and I can see you making a name for yourself and not being. I hope people don't try and compare you to other lady drivers and give you your own standing.
Yeah. Definitely, I don't want to go backwards. So I didn't want to go to a super stock and then think, it was too much and have to go backwards, because you don't make much of a name of yourself going backwards. But I hope to go to a super stock at some point in the future. Maybe not the near future. I've still got a few. Might do like 3 or 4, 5 seasons in the stock car, and then maybe think, it's time for a super stock, maybe. Or if I still don't think so, then I'll just carry on with the stock car and see where I go from there.
That's awesome.
Nah, I love what you're saying, and just what Booker said too. Just the same, because you're level-headed. You're taking steps at a time, which is good. You're not going to jump into the big stuff straight away, and you'll be a name that'll be remembered, I would guess, for some time to come. And there's going to be a big future for you, young lady. And I wish you all the best. And I know you've done really well. Again, congratulations on what you achieved on Saturday night. I know your family and everyone that's around you support you 100% and your sponsors. So good on you, eh?
They definitely do. Couldn't do it without my sponsors. My family. Gosh, it's always a family, always at the track. My grandparents, cousins, my brother, my boyfriend, my mum and dad, they're always there. So I couldn't do it without them. My sponsors, they do a lot for me. So I thank them, all of them.
Yeah.
every
What's it
6
like
months.
at school? What's it like going to school, Ricky, when your mates ask you, what you do in the weekend? Oh, I just raced my car. Well, what's it like going to school? Tell them that.
Yeah, a lot of kids. I think a lot of they don't try not to talk about it too much because I think there's a lot of kids that would definitely like to do that, and
Yeah.
they come to the track and they watch and they can actually see how much fun it is, and um, yeah, but they all real supportive, and heaps of my friends from school always come on a Saturday if I'm racing in Palmy, and if it's or Wanganui, if it's close enough, and they'll always come and watch. So it's pretty cool. Heaps of people
Awesome.
come, and they always ask me about the points and that the way the points goes, and but yeah, I only just missed out on that this year by a few points on the last meeting, the last meeting of the season. I got disqualified in the first race,
Oh,
which put me at the point. So I ended up second on points, but that's all good.
Hey, you take it on the chin, you just carry on. Hey, that's just part of
Yeah,
it. Get back behind the wheel and just do what you got to do. Young lady, wish you all the best going forward. I do thank you for jumping in to join us tonight. And no doubt we'll catch up sometime soon around the trackside. Look forward to seeing you out in the stock car, but wish you all the best. Say hi to your family. I know they got us on the big screen. You've got a wicked girls' cave, I would say, looking at all your posters there.
definitely.
Awesome.
All
Thanks,
right.
Ricky.
Thank you, guys.
thanks,
Yeah,
Riki.
thank you.
See ya.
Riki Lee Kauri, everyone. And of course, one of the lucky winners from, of course, last weekend's Palmerston North Speedway Awards as well. And a bright young lady who's level-headed.
I think she's got a
good
great future ahead of her, Kins. The way her attitude towards the whole thing is really grouse, like I see big things for that young lady. I really do. I think she's going to go well.
Someone that brought a bit of attitude, he brought a bit of humour to the tracks here in New Zealand. He's well known around the world when it comes to the Brisker. We're going to head all the way over to the UK. This is the furthest we've actually journeyed on our show to interview someone. And there he is looking all buff here, sitting there, chilling out on a Wednesday morning. If I get it right, it's most probably close to 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Charlie Sorter, everyone. Hey, Charlie.
How you getting on, mate? You all right?
Yeah, we're all good, mate. Wednesday morning, is that right?
Yeah, Wednesday morning, 5 to 9.
5 to 9. You had
Yeah,
breakfast, had a coffee?
I'll have a cup of tea, morning cup of tea, and then we've got to do some work in a bit.
All right, mates. Hey, thanks for coming to join us. Thanks for joining us. And how's life been, since you spun a few laps over here in New Zealand? What's been happening with you in the race world?
Yeah, just been racing over here pretty much every weekend since we got back from New Zealand, really. We're just building a new car as we speak for halfway through the season. Hopefully we can have it done for this weekend to debut it at Kings Lynn. But yeah, just been out and out racing, really.
We're hoping to have you, mate. We put the invitation out to you, and I know you were keen to join us on our E-Series. We had spoken about this earlier at the start of the show. We had the winner from our South Island champs. But I know, mate, times are just a bit busy, like you say. You've been racing nearly every weekend. I suppose you've got to have a bit of work on the car when it comes to next day, eh?
Yeah, the problem is, we get a bit of damage, and then sometimes we have double day meetings and that start early on a Sunday. So it's a bit hard to commit to your E-Series, but we wouldn't mind trying to make a little guest appearance here and there. But we'll I can never guarantee time. That's the problem, because our calendar year is so busy this sort of period. It's real hard to sort of free up any time, unfortunately.
Mate, you're a hit here in New Zealand, eh? Your merchandise went out like hotcakes, mate, here in New Zealand. Me and Booker didn't even get a chance to get down and bloody get one. They were gone.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I didn't even know we was doing any merch. It was all Mitch arranged all of that and got it all sorted and just did it for us. So yeah, hats off to him. And I think we sold out before the Friday night of the 240s even started. I think we sold out before practice. So yeah, I was a bit shocked, to be fair.
What's racing been? Carry on, Books, carry on.
So how did you find your experience? Because this was your first year in New Zealand. You had the 240s and then teams. How'd you find it, mate? Did you enjoy yourself? Would you find it? Had the hits? How'd you feel with the hits and the car? The differences, just little things like that. What was your thoughts on the whole?
I felt like your cars, when I was in Mitch's car, I felt like you had a little less power than what we do, but your cars handle so much better. You can sort of trick it in and hang on it, sort of thing. Whereas our cars, you got to try and slow down for the corner a bit more. But now Mitch's car, I said, is probably one of the best race cars I've ever drove. You could just put it anywhere on the track and it would just hook up real nice. But all in all, the racing side, like Heat 1 and 2 at 240s, I found it was very, very similar to our sort of racing, like just normal hitting, and you sort of knew what was happening. And then it comes to that big Heat 3, and yeah, well, it all changes there, don't it?
You took a bit of punishment on that one, didn't you? The boys came for you.
Yeah, well, I didn't know who was going to try to stop me. I just sort of went out and just didn't really know what to do. Really, I didn't know who Gisborne was. I didn't know who Jaden Wall was. I didn't know who was wanting to get me. So I was going around the outside of cars like they weren't there. And next thing you know, I'm up the fence. So.
That's a real quick welcome to New Zealand Superstock class, mate. World 240s is one of those events. It's the pinnacle for a lot of our drivers. You know, you put it up against it with the New Zealand champs and everything like that. But the other event, and you're lucky to be part of as a young man, is obviously one of the biggest and greatest shows on dirt. We talk about the New Zealand Superstock team champs in Palmy. Mate, you put on a show, obviously not the car that you had at the 240s, but as a young man, you didn't hold back. You and your team members, you just gave it your all.
Yeah, well, we fly God knows how many miles, and it takes us nearly 2 days to get here. So what's the point in not going for it, sort of thing? But you know, old man Frank, he's got the experience. He knows what to do. So he gave us a lot of good pointers, and then little Ted as well. He's been out a few times, and he's one of the best mates, and he just sort of told us what to do and how to do it, sort of thing. But I don't think I actually realised how big of an event and how good the atmosphere actually was for the teams. Like you're in the pits working on your car, and then you just hear this massive roar from the crowd, and you're like, bloody hell, that something big's just happened. And no, you can't. It's hard to compare to anything over here because we don't really have that sort of style of racing and that atmosphere. We probably have that atmosphere for World Final. That's probably it.
Yeah, it was.
You know. For an example, everyone talks highly of the Rotorua track where you race the 240s. Also, the recent development with the Palmy track and the pits and everything like that, the stadium, like you said, the atmosphere, you can hear it when you're in the pits. And then you would have obviously been part of their build up with the build up at the square in town, and then everything like that. What's the tracks, just put it in my mind, like over there in the UK compared to the complex of Palmerston? You know, what's the difference in layout?
So Palmerston's built out and out as a speedway track, whereas some of ours aren't quite like that. We used to have Coventry Stadium, which was one of our best stadiums, and unfortunately that got shut down. But I'd say now we've got Bradford, which is like, it's similar sort of size, but it's like in a bowl, and you sort of like look down into it, and that's a real good stadium.
Yeah.
But it's hard to compare because like you can tell Palmerston is purely, it's been built and worked on for so many years, whereas Bradford's only just come back as a racetrack for stock cars the last couple of years. So they're still building, and you've got Northampton, which they're trying to build up, and then Kings Lynn. But the stadiums like Rotorua, even, it's just like out and out speedway. That is it. That is what that's meant for. And you can just tell how hard Sonia and Stan have worked to build Rotorua up, sort of thing. And credit to them because it's an unbelievable place.
We just had a young lady on before, Riki Lee, who's just going out of what we call mini stocks here in New Zealand. Again, Rotorua has mini stocks in Paradise, massive event, which gets to nearly a couple of hundred there. What kind of development classes do you guys have over in the UK that's a very similar class to what we have here? Like, because I want to talk about how you got involved too. Did you come in through your age group class? But do you have like development classes over in the UK?
Yeah, so we have. There's a few to be fair, but the main ones you can do Ninja Kart from 6 to 11. They're like little go-karts with like roll cages on, non-contact, you're allowed to hit. And then from 11 to 16, there's Brisker Mini Stocks, which are like old classic Mini Coopers with roll cages and bumpers around. Yeah, and they're pretty much like slower stock cars, really. You're allowed to hit, and that's where 9 times out of 10, your main sort of people coming up, like me, Little Ted, Danny Wayman did them, like all the sort of like young people who've come up. That's what we've all done. So yeah, that's where we sort of like you learn your racecraft there, and then you go into F1s or whatever else, and then you can always tell someone who's been in mini stocks really.
Yeah. And that's how it all started for you, mate? That's where it all started from.
Where it all started, 10 years old, the 10th birthday, I raced at Buxton as a little white top, and just went from there really. Just my dad used to race, so he was just trying to fit my racing in with his, and then he took a step back a little bit, and then my racing became more important, and then went into F1s, and he sort of stopped. So it's just progressed through the family sort of thing.
Mate, you're the youngest to achieve what you achieved at the Brisker, as a young man. And I remember the bright orange and everything like this type of stuff and what you were out there. What's it life been like for you, honestly, at that young age, what you achieved?
It's a bit crazy, really, because like it's something you dream about when you're a kid. It's something I still dream about, like a day before winning it, sort of thing. And like you can't, when you've been in it all your life. I've been racing since I was 2 months old. So seeing my dad win it in the F2 class, and then seeing like the idols win it, sort of thing, you sort of think, oh man, I'd love to be able to do something what they've done, and to be able to do it, obviously at 20 years of age and in front of all my family and friends, you couldn't write it really. The feeling you get from that like accomplishment, like you've done what you've set out to do in such a short period of time. It's just like I can't explain the feeling, because I think the only feeling that would probably beat that, it would probably be winning teams, I reckon. Purely for the fact that it's not just yourself. Like you look at Frank, you look at Little Ted, you look at Lee, you see how long they've been trying to do it, and they've been so close. And then, like, if I was in the team and then managed to do that with them, that sort of like, to see them sort of have that, it would just be, I think that'll top it, if I'm honest, but we'll have to see.
So you're coming back for teams, mate?
If they want me in the team, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
240, you're back for 240s? Daniel Chalk asking in the chat.
Yeah, hopefully. We've got it booked off work. We've got it all planned, but we've just got to see. Obviously, if I'm not in the team, it might be a bit difficult. But the plan is obviously to do the teams again and then come over for 240s as well. So same as last year, really.
Yeah. Just so the weather hangs around for you.
I think if this time, if it does happen, I think you and Kinser are going to have to do that dance together, mate.
I could make an exception this time.
All right, mate. Okay, we'll meet down at the square and do so. We might even do the 240s. We'll talk to Sam. He'll get us out in the middle of the bloody track at Rotary. We'll work it out, mate. Steve Murray. Steve Murray says hi, Charlie. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, we'll see the dance moves, mate, Daniel. We'll promise everyone that. Can Charlie give my son Dylan a shout out? He's a huge fan. You want to do a shout out to young Dylan Curran?
Yeah, how you getting on, mate? Big shout out to Dylan.
There we go. Here you go, Devs.
Daniel Curran, his dad, he races with us online.
Right.
And also he's a street stock driver. So he races street stocks, and his family's been all into street stocks as well over here. So, hey, well, Kinser's looking at the messages. What about the bangers over there? I mean, we got a mate, Mentor One, in our crew. He loves watching those bangers over. I mean, those guys are. We say people are nuts and got big ones to race teams champs, but some of that banger stuff I see, mate, you got to have something screw loose on, don't you?
Yeah. See, our family's never really been big into bangers. They're questionable. They are. We don't really have much to do with them. They bring in the fans, and the fans absolutely love it, which is fair enough. But I can't get into my head that you build a car for God knows how long, go out in race one, and then absolutely destroy it. That's not really how I've been brought up. But listen, if people enjoy it, then they enjoy it, don't they?
Oh, mate, we watch some of the stuff, and you just think. But I'm surprised more people just don't die doing bangers, because man.
I think a few people have, like they see someone at the end of the straight and they just don't shut off. Like you need to be in a different mindset for that, but whatever they want to do in it.
I think you got a few nuts and bolts missing in the old brain sometimes. Honestly,
it's the same as teams, though, except that our teams cars don't crush.
Yeah.
Bangers do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like when you already see a car and bangers crash into another, and it's like a whole bloody freight train all of a sudden, boom, 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 and they just crash it.
Coming in.
Yeah. So you got a big station wagon, and then all of a sudden it ends up looking like a little mini in the end of it. It's like, oh, then you see the guy going to pop out. It's like, is he still a bloody life? Sean Kingy's got a question here for you, Charlie. Sean's asking, would you consider coming over to New Zealand to race an entire season if someone had made a car available? You had the seat time just to gain some experience, better grip on our cars, especially as a build up maybe to 240s and 10s. Would you consider if that offer got, of course you would, I would guess.
100%, yeah. Obviously, if a team come up to me and said, we've got a car for you, can you come over? 100%. Like my dream is to race. Like that's what I want to do. I work for the family business, so I'm sure it'd be all right. Like sort of thing. And,
I see you had a new truck or something the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm out trucking most days now. But yeah, obviously, if there was anyone ever willing to obviously put me in a car for a season, there's no reason why I would be saying no. Absolutely not.
Interesting.
Long way from home though, mate. Honestly, like you say, it's a 2-day bloody flight, and we know for one fact that Peter Rees hates bloody flying over there. He's just one thing he doesn't like, just takes too bloody long. But mate, that's a long way from home though, eh?
It is, yeah, but to fulfill your dreams, you've got to take sacrifices sometimes, and it's something that you don't get offered very often. So it would be hard to sort of say, oh, I'll wait for another offer, because you can't guarantee something like that would ever happen. So that's why I've always pretty much said yes to anything. Like if anyone ever said, like, do you want to go in this car? Absolutely. One of my mates, Jordan McDonald, he said about having to go in his midget over there, and I said yes straight away. Like any car, I'll race it.
Okay, mate. Okay. You know, I was thinking about it too, the 240s and the 10s that we touched on with you earlier, Charlie, and this was kind of your debut here in New Zealand to those big events. But the extra X factor to it was having the Lions back, especially at Palmy, and Lions represented at the 240s. It's been a few years, and we all know the reasons why. But, mate, just the expectations that you guys put out there in front of those fans was just unbelievable. You know, it was just great to have you back. And I know the Kiwi fans thoroughly enjoyed seeing the Lions back, you know, even the Dutch boys, thinking about those,
they were awesome.
You know, just seeing you all back here.
They're real cool lads. To be fair, I didn't know Yelly and Niels I knew of them, but I didn't know them too much before New Zealand. And then since New Zealand, we've been real close. I've been on holiday with them, and they've been real good friends of ours ever since. So it's like racing just brings everyone together, sort of thing. And obviously having the Lions and seeing Frank and everyone back, it was just real nice. You can tell how appreciated we feel, because you have all the fans come up to you and say, "Oh, it's lovely to have you back." I'm like, "Mate, I've never been here before." But no, you definitely feel like you're wanted there, rather than feeling a bit hostile and a bit like, "Oh, don't really know what to do here." So yeah, it's nice.
Mate, you know, the Great British Lions are a team favorite. Obviously, they're a crowd favorite. It's just what you bring. It's next level. The fans that you bring over from the UK, and I know you got your own media people that do a good job with this. You're down at the local Speedway garage, parked up down there, and Guy was doing a wonderful job. Frankie, well, everyone knows what Frankie can do. We saw that at the World 240s in Heat 3, just never gave up. Everyone was smashing the hell out of him. His lovely wife and family, you know, just everyone around you guys with that whole tour just put them so much, because people don't understand, because I know for a fact that some of you lost some of your gear on the way over, and there was a fair bit of behind the scenes stuff that was going on. It's not an easy thing, and it doesn't come easy, and it definitely ain't cheap.
No, it's not. No, it does cost a lot of money, like for the team and bits and bobs. But yeah, like we all come together and we all somehow manage to do it every year, and it's all worth it, because you just feel so like appreciated. Like even though we managed to get fourth this year, like we had one of the youngest teams, and like 3 of us had never done it before. I think we all did ourselves proud, really. Obviously losing Frank in that last race wasn't ideal against Gisborne. I think the race would have played out different. Personally, if we had Frank, I think we'd have been third and they wouldn't. If I'm saying it in black and white. But it is what it is. That's racing, I guess, and we'll go back next year and hopefully we'll have the same sort of cars. And we'll give it a go now. I've got a bit of experience, and so the Dutch lads, it'll be nice to really have a go, sort of thing.
Mate, those Dutch boys are both outstanding, honestly. They just didn't hold back, and we were surprised, actually, that they never picked up or got any accolades for what they'd done with you guys, because they just did what they had to do. And like you said, when Frankie got damaged, I tell you what, if the result had turned around and you beaten the Giants, mate, the crowd in the stadium would have erupted.
It would have been berserk.
Next thing would have been just crazy, because it's just one of those things. Stu Russell, Charlie, has Peter Faulding got over you, beating his age record by days for winning the world final? Has Pete got over that yet, mate?
I haven't spoken to him for quite a while, actually. He hasn't been racing for a little bit, but I think he's getting there. I think he's sinking in through now slowly. But he phoned me the other night, Stu did. He was a bit drunk with old Daniel Burmeister.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah. Tell him to come in and join us. Who's that? Is that your mate?
It's the old man.
The old man. Here's your dad. Bring the dad in.
How you doing?
Hey, you mate.
Good, how are you?
Oh, I live in the dream. You boys? Hey, it's nearly bedtime for you boys, isn't it?
Yeah. It's only just gone 8 o'clock, mate. We're just talking with the young fella here, obviously. And, mate, look at the smile on your face of what he's achieved in his racing season. He just want to race all the time.
Yeah, I know. He's keen. He's keen than mine. But when I was his age, I was as keen as what he was. But I'm not so keen now, but he is. So we have to just keep pushing forward to do a bit,
Yeah. It's excited. He said he wants to come back to New Zealand. He can't wait. He's looking forward to it.
He keeps trying to get me to come next year, but we're just contemplating what to do at the minute. So fingers crossed we should all get there, but you never know. I think he's definitely coming, but I can make out. Even if he just comes to a holiday, he's definitely coming.
I tell you what, if you get here once, you'll want to come back every time. You'll love it that much. That team's champs and the 240s. If and we understand you're a real racer, so I'd say you'll never want to not come back again.
Yeah, Guy Parker says to me, once you've been once, you want to come all the time. Derek Ferrer said the same, because Lee Ferris, he comes all the time. So we'll just see what happens. If I can get out there, I'll get out there. But I like my sprint cars in America. That's my biggest thing. So, but they say the racing out with you guys is even better. So we have to come witness it once and just see, I think.
Yeah, well, we've got a few other similar things to our sprint. We've got our modifieds and our sprint cars over here too, which our modifieds are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to talk about sprint cars because Stu put this in there, Charlie. How close are you to that USA dream like Tom and Ryan? We know you love outlaw racing, mate.
I'm about 100 grand off. So, I don't know. Like, it's hard to say really, because like if we had the same funding, then I don't see why not. But obviously they're about 10 years older than me, and they've done it a little bit longer, and they've been in stock cars longer than us. So it'd be nice to do something like that, but it just costs a lot of money, and we don't have that sort of money. Like we do well in stock cars, and we wouldn't then be able to do sprint cars as well. So it's one or the other. And at the minute in my career, I wouldn't want to have to sell everything and take that risk just in case I wouldn't be able to guarantee something out there, sort of thing.
Wicked. You just want to race, eh, mate? You just want to race every bloody weekend. That's right, eh, Dad? He just wants to race, eh, Dad? Every bloody weekend. Look what you created.
Yeah.
If he's not racing on the track, he's racing on the road. Everything we do, we live about, not even a quarter mile from the yard. And every time we go home on our bikes, and it's a race home every time. Yeah, even like if you've got a football, it's who can keep football the furthest and go and get it. It's every competition. It keeps you young, doesn't it? It just keeps you going. But the youngest son, Harry, he's the same now. He's getting good at the computer and getting good at football. And he wants to race eventually. Everything we do with him. So now it's a three-way battle for who the king of the king of the house. I think he's fastest.
So
carry on.
I was going to say, so you growing up watching your dad race and everything, Charlie, and all the rest of it. Who else was the people that you sort of looked up and sort of thought, should I like? Was old Frankie one of those?
Frank probably wasn't as much. Do you know Andrew Smith? Yeah. Andrew Smith, he's a good family friend. Yeah, we really, really looked up to him. Trying to think who else really. He was probably the main one. Him and my dad, to be fair, like obviously following my dad around like everywhere in F2s, and then when he made the move to F1s in, when was it, 2010? 2012, and I've just been watching them two really. Obviously, you knew Frank was sort of the man, and you still watched him. But between Dad and Andrew, they were like sort of like, if I can be anything half as good as them, I'll be all right, sort of thing.
So just for everybody watching, you say F1 to F2. What's the differences between our F1 and F2 class?
So it's probably like how your Superstocks to stock cars are. Like F2s are little Pinto engines or Z-Tech 4-pot. Yeah, they're just a little bit smaller, different smaller wheels, just smaller in size really. But they're probably a bit like how your stock cars are. They have like 500 odd registered drivers a year, and they're getting like, I think their meeting they've got on a Thursday night next week, there's like 80 odd cars booked in. And they've got 100 cars over the weekend. Like they're quite a strong formula, and then F1s are sort of like what the fans want to see, and then they're more popular if like to the crowd sort of thing. So they're quite different, but a lot of quite a few drivers have sort of changed here and there and gone from F1 to F2 sort of thing, or vice versa.
Wicked. Look, some people have put comments in there for you, Charlie. Ethan Fafita Reeves, Pete's son, reckons Pete has a spare car for Charlie this season. So we'll have to talk to Pete, mate.
You get Ethan to message us, send us a message over, and I'll be there.
Shit, we better watch out. Pete might be watching, eh?
We'll get in bloody trouble, eh? Have you? It's one of your ambitions to race sprint cars, is it? Have you always wanted to race sprint cars?
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, I've been going to America since a young age with Dad. That's what he loves, and I've just fell into it sort of thing. I watch them all the time, like always watching the highlights. And yeah, again, if anything ever come up and I managed to get lucky and got to go in a sprint car in America or even in New Zealand or Australia, be a dream come true. Like that's when you look at oval racing and dirt racing. Like as a hobby, you have the stock cars, you have Superstocks, but you see the sprint car drivers and late model drivers in America, and that's what they do for a job. And obviously, I love my racing, and to be able to go to work and get in my car and drive around the track for 25 laps, that'd be the dream, really.
Living the dream, mate. Living the dream. So, might have to get into something like that next time you come to New Zealand. Bring Dad over. You can have a bit of a race. Someone might be able to organise something. I wouldn't be surprised because we've got a good mate, Booker and I, who has a modified. I wouldn't be surprised. He'd much offer you both.
Hey, you'd be about his size, actually, Charlie. You and bloody Brad. Hey, he'd probably fit in there. Oh, Mr. 1NZ modified, he'd chuck you in there.
If you get it planned, there's no way I'll be saying no. So.
Oh, we might have to work on that one, Kinser. We might have to have a word to old Brady, and that might be a bit of an interesting thing to happen, I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll go.
All right,
I'll go, boys.
Okay, thanks,
mate.
mate.
Nice to meet you, eh?
See you later.
See you later. And that's how important this is. Like Dad come in and joined us there, Charlie, and that's where you followed through with your dad, and that the importance of family in sport. What we're talking about, your particular sport is just unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, obviously, like my granddad raced, then my dad raced, and then my dad met my mum through racing. So, like, we've all been like linked into it. And then I met my missus through racing. Like, racing just brings everything together. If it didn't have racing, God knows what I'd be doing every weekend. I think I'd be bored out my mind. Like, but you earn your money, you spend it on your car, you damage it, and you go again. That's the circle of life.
How's the like over here? I mean, over here the drivers, you get a bit of niggle, but not a lot, and it always generally gets left on the track, and then afterwards there's a few beers afterwards. Is it similar to the racing? Is that similar over there, or do people get a bit testy on it over there, or is it a bit similar? You on the track, it's left, and you go have a beer afterwards, or?
No, that's something that I had to learn to sort of adjust to when I come over there, because obviously Prentice and Asher and Jaden Wall were picking on me in Heat 3, and if they was to do that in England, then I wouldn't be talking to them. That's just how it is. I wish it was how it was in New Zealand, because like you go off, you bury someone, and then you go and have a drink with them. Like, what better way to sportsmanship? But over here, you try and talk to someone, and they try to throw handbags at you, and you just got to shake your head at everything, But to be fair, we keep ourselves to ourselves. We don't we don't have too much aggro. Like we've had a few bits and bobs kick off before last year, but we just ignore it. We ignore all the comments on Facebook and just carry on. Really, that's all you can do.
So that would have been a bit of an eye opener for you to get hammered by those guys in that race, and they all want to come buy you a beer afterwards, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool to be fair. Like you just talk to me, like, why was you waiting for me? It's like, well, I need to. You run me up the wall. I was like, did I? I didn't mean to. but no, yeah, it's definitely the off track sort of side out there in New Zealand is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool to hear.
I tell you what was an eye opener, Charlie, was yourself and Asher bringing the big wings that you have in your race over in the UK. You know, Asher with this one, but yours was the actual real McCoy, big massive one. I tell you what. And I tell you, they actually look. I know there's a lot of haters about them. With the
I
wings,
love them.
But
Yeah.
I thought I love. Oh, they look really
and now they've
cool.
bloody banned them.
Yeah.
Well, Mitch, before I went about a month before, he sent me this photo of this wing, and I looked at it and I thought, Jesus Christ, that looks huge. and I got there, and it was huge. And no, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Like I'm an entertainer. That's what I do. Like I enjoy getting the crowd going. I enjoy winding people up, and if I totally understand if the fans don't like it, like that's fair enough to them. But at the end of the day, the fans pay good money, then why shouldn't they be entertained? So that's how we see it. And we've been talking to Mitch, and he says we're going to do a bigger one for next year. So we'll see how we can get around it.
You are an entertainer. You did it on the infield at Rotorua, you know, when things happened didn't go the right way for you. Got on the, whatever it was, the tyres or what it was on the infield, then you did your little dance move and everything. That just rules the crowd, because already during the 240s, the crowd were entertained by one man carrying a lounge suite all the way around the track, then going up the bloody hill.
I saw that. That was funny, that was.
Yeah, so we're entertained by that, and we're talking about everyone's having a good laugh, to his credit. But then, of course, you did your little bit after being put up the wall in front of us, actually, and you did your little dance thing. So, mate, that's what it's all about. You're entertaining the fans. Like you say, they're paying some good coin to come along and watch entertainment.
100%, yeah. Like, I'm the same over here. Like, there's a few more health and safety rules over here now because of an incident that happened a few years ago, but you still try and entertain. You try and say the wrong things to get everyone talking, and it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool.
It is cool. Charlie, I know we could sit here, and I know it's getting close to 8:30. I know you got to go do some work for your Wednesday morning. Dad's popped in there, and what do you do for a job, actually?
So I'm a lorry driver. My lorry's out there at the moment, but to be fair, I've had to take a week off this week because, like I said, we're getting that new car built, and we're at the business end of it now, and we're just trying to get it done in time. We're meant to be going for a practice on Friday afternoon, and then to race on Saturday at Kings Lynn. So so yeah, we're just a mad rush at the moment, just trying to get everything sorted, and yeah.
So when do you defend your brisket title?
September the 9th, I believe.
Okay, so it's a few months away.
Northampton Raceway. That's our local track, one of my best tracks as well. So hopefully, if it all goes right, we can defend it. But we've got a semi-final to get through first at Mildenhall. I think that's in a couple of weeks. So like you score points through the year, and then the top 48 gets split into 2 different races, and then the top 10 out of each race forms a grid for the World Finals. The winner starts pole, and then the winner of the other one starts from the outside, and it goes back like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard if any Kiwis are coming over yet either. I heard a rumour that Asher may be going, so...
Yeah, well, I know we put a car up for Mitch, because we're building that new car, and we've got the old one that I normally use, which is my dad's one, and because Mitch done so much for us in when I come over, we said that we'd happily do the same back, and the car we have is a top car, the same as what he used, or what I used when he supplied me. So yeah, we want to give him the best sort of shot to win it, because I think he's a real good driver, and if things fall the right way for someone, it could happen for him. So so yeah. I know Mitch is definitely coming. I've heard of a few other names, but I don't want to say anything just in case I get in trouble.
No, that's all good. Well, Mitch is actually watching, mate. Bring back Mick. Bring back Mick, he reckons.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Bring him back.
I see him being cheeky on your post today that you posted up too, old Mitch?
He don't stop, that man.
And he's no different to you, mate, because Mitch can actually drive to and he builds a bloody good car, and he's out there. He's no different to you. He loves this race. We've interviewed him a few times on the show, and I was thinking to ask you, what does Charlie do with himself aside from racing? But you're too busy working, mate. You're working on the race car. You don't have any time else to do anything else, do you?
No, we finish work and then we go in the garage, to be fair. Like, that's just what we do, sort of thing. But no, we're looking forward to having Mick Trover, like having him for however long he's here for, and just ripping him to shit, really.
So do you follow any soccer over there?
Yeah, I'm a big Spurs supporter. I've got the old
yeah.
Massive Spurs supporter. We try and get to a few games like a couple of times a year, but yeah, again, racing gets in the way, and they just cost so much money to go to. Like, you go and it's like £200 day out for like per person, and you just like, there's free me, Harry, and Dad, and like just so much money to go. But we go here and there, and yeah, we follow it lightly. But again, racing's the main priority.
No one of those bloody players getting paid a fortune when you're paying that kind of dollar, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of money, eh? Holy
yeah, it is. Yeah. It is
people moan about speedway prices of tickets over here.
You got £200 to watch a bloody in New Zealand money. £200, that's nearly $600 over here.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
To watch a game of soccer, game of footy.
Yeah, it is crazy. The money in it is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mate, we could sit here and talk. I know you got to get on your lorry and do what you need to do. We'll most surely catch up again prior to September and have another chat with you just prior to you defending. I wish you all the best for your semi-final and everything like that. Been a pleasure catching up with you and technology. Well, it worked well for our first ever guest.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Perfect. Yeah, well, thanks very much for having me. You know, I like having a chat. Obviously, we had a little bit of a chat in the square, but yeah, like any time you want us on, just give us a shout and we'll make stuff free.
Mate, no good. Well, next time me and Booker coming to England, you'll have to take us to the Rovers return. No, just joking.
Are you coming over in September?
No.
I would love to. I better check my lotto ticket. We had the $33 million tonight. If I won, we'll be over there in September. Trust me, mate. We'll fly over there. Yeah. But we'll catch up soon, mate. Thank you for joining us on a Wednesday morning over there. And all the best, and say hi to Dad and your family, and we'll catch up in a little while, eh?
Will do. Spot on.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
See you later.
See ya. Charlie Sauter, everyone, the World Briscoe champion, and defending, as he says, that title as the youngest ever in their history, coming up in September, 9th of September, from memory with the date, semi-finals, how it works over there as well. And one of his goals is to come back and entertain. He's an entertainer. He wants to come back to New Zealand, and definitely the 240s and definitely with the Lions for the team. So good to catch up with Charlie.
Wouldn't that be interesting, Kinser? Someone turned around and said, yeah, we'll give him a car for a season, get over here. Hey, and look after him. Man, that'd draw some crowds to every track, wouldn't it? You know, that'd just that'd be pretty 100%. Cool actually, because the guy's a talented driver. Watched him in that 240s when we first saw him. Hey, he was on it, man. He was on it. Hey, shit.
He's 21 now too, by the way, and to think what he's a talent, and he started at 10 years old, and we didn't really want to talk too much with bangers because they just go crazy over there. We've seen,
another level.
It is. Oh, well, hey, that's a show. Another show done. Caught up with Brad Wright, Tank, South Island Chance with the Capital RC 2023 Superstock E-Series. We are back again this coming Sunday. As Craig mentioned, Booker will do the build-up from 8:15. Racing on the Oval gets underway at 8:30. Then, of course, we caught up with young Riki Lee Kauri. Of course, he's just wrapping up and won the award on Saturday night in the mini stocks, but also a big future coming up in stock cars too, and the level head. That's what we like about her, taking little steps at a time. And then, of course, the man himself who entertains when he comes to New Zealand, young man at that, with the Lions in the 240s, Charlie Sauter.
Oh, look at that. I just reading it. Mitch just put, I offered him my car booker and his missus made him go home. Hey, Charlie. Oh, mate.
Oh,
okay.
bloody hell. 5C Charlie sorta, yeah boy, 5C. I don't think so, Scotty, for some reason. He'd be a happy man, Scotty, because the Crusaders won.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads, for the shout out, mate. Dylan's Day. Shy and silly, but all good, mate. That's what we're about.
Listen,
everyone out there watching the show and enjoying themselves on a Wednesday night.
Before we finish up, big thanks to Pinnacle and Paulie for the Rawiri gear. That's awesome. We love getting the gear to watch and represent you guys. Big thanks to Capital RC for supporting our E-Series and our Superstocks. Pops Online is going to be bringing, Pops Online store is going to bring us the stream each Sunday night. And FCS Limited is going to bring us our New Zealand Championships. And before the New Zealand Championships, we have a very, very special meeting in remembrance and celebrating our mate, Richie, MMJ. So that'll be a very special meeting at Wellington Speedway as well. So tune into the series. A few of you seem to be liking it. They reckon it's good for a Sunday night, something to do, watch a bit of madness. The future of online racing is right here. It's at Cockpit Media and Racing, Cockpit Racing and Media, I should say. Thanks for tuning in with us, guys. We appreciate you tuning in. Look after yourselves all week, and we'll see you on Sunday night for round 3 of the Capital RC Superstock E-Series.
Yeah, brought to you by Hootenanny.
Hootenanny.
Hootenanny. Take care, everyone. Be safe out there.
And you know, and you gotta love these phones, kids. You know, like these S23 Ultras. You know, they're pretty. Tony's gonna send big angry faces again.
Yeah.
And on that note,
right, love her. Take care, everyone. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
It's just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in the old man Superstock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the Hootenanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?